This week's Michigan Lottery Excellence in Education winner is Denise Schaefer from Wilcox Elementary, which is part of the Holt Public School System. We have a video from your nominator. Let's take a look.
Hello, I'm Jerry Schaefer. I was honored to nominate Denise Schaefer for the Excellence in Education Award. As a lower L teacher with 17 years of experience, she exemplifies the dedicated and hardworking teachers who are educating the children of the next generation. If I had to pick one attribute that I admire most about Denise, is her never-ending optimism. Every day she gets up, goes to school, says this is going to be a good day. It's a very difficult job, with many nights and weekends spent at home or at school, doing schoolwork or devising new ways to inspire her children. Her joy of teaching is always evident. Many a dinner time conversation revolves around the joy of a student experiencing success, realizing that they are capable of growing and learning new skills. Thank you to Denise and all teachers who work so hard for our children.
That's your husband.
That's my husband.
What did you think when he told you, or did the superintendent tell you?
We had a special staff meeting at school, and that's when I learned in front of the rest of my peers and colleagues. I was stunned, gobsmacked. Yeah. It was a really thrilling moment.
And then when you found out it was your hubby that did it.
Then I was so heartwarmed that I know he understands, but he put his understanding into action to do something to highlight me and my colleagues.
What I think is interesting about your career is that you made a midlife decision to switch careers and go into teaching. Tell me about that.
I did. I had worked in the business sector as a corporate trainer, and as my own children started their journey through elementary school, I was involved in their classrooms, and I thought, this is something I could do. I could make an impact. I could have fun with it, and I made the decision to go back and get my teaching credentials at that point.
Well, talk about having fun, because I know you have some fun in your classroom.
I think joy is just a great catalyst for learning. And so each week we pick a topic and we dive into it. And I might have a giant dinosaur in the classroom that goes from floor to ceiling. I have a large knight in shining armor. When we study the Middle Ages, we might build castles. We've celebrated Chinese New Year using bubble wrap on the floor to create fireworks. I try to bring joy and happiness into the classroom because I think we all need it, and that makes my job more fun too.
Yeah, and then you see a difference in your students.
I do.
Tell me about the difference that you see in your students, after incorporating some of those skills that you're teaching them.
They're smiling, they're happy, they start asking more questions, they want another book that will tell them more about that information. And I hear from their parents, my child is so sad, they weren't able to come to school today, there were tears. The parents say they hate missing school. So I know that joy piece is really a great motivator.
Sounds like you made a really good decision to switch careers.
It was a wonderful decision. I've never regretted it.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your classroom and the kids. And I get a sense that they're much more than just students to you.
I care about them deeply. I invest in them. I adore their humor. I love their off-topic questions. I love the conversations we have. And I also just love seeing when their world starts to open up a little more, that they're changing and growing. And I always love to compare the beginning of the year to the end of the year. There's physical change, but there's also just such maturity in just a short 180 days of school that's so gratifying.
Fast forward 15 years from now, you run into a former student. They come up to you and talk about their experience in your classroom. What do you hope they say?
I hope they say, you really cared about me. I learned a lot about something. I appreciate you.
Well, congratulations, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you very much.
Denise receives a $1,500 check from the Michigan Lottery, and her class at Wilcox Elementary in Holt receives a $500 grant. Excellence in Education Awards, sponsored by the Michigan Lottery, providing more than $27 billion to public education since 1972.